Hey guys, welcome to another Homelab Series video today. In today's video, we'll be showing you how you can install PhotoPrism. It's kind of like Image, another kind of photo album software that you can essentially upload your photos and kind of view them. The interesting thing about PhotoPrism though is it actually has kind of an AI-powered backend to kind of index your photos based off of certain things. I haven't tested that feature out as much to see what it auto-categorizes the things as, but something interesting to kind of check out and play around with. But in this video, we'll show you how to install it and get started with it. So this video is also sponsored by me, myself, and I. So if you enjoy my content or want to sponsor me or send me some free swag, let me know. My email is in the description below. So let's get started, guys. All right, so let's open a command prompt here and let's log into our server. 172.16.62. And then we're going to install Docker here. Manager, add repo, https, download docker.com, Linux, CentOS, docker ce.repo. So we'll add the Docker repository and then we'll do yum-y install docker ce. This will take a few seconds here, so we'll let Docker install. While we do that, we will update our DNS. So we got a GitLab project that essentially will output this file, copy this file out to our DNS server, and then restart the DNS services. So we'll update the serial, and then add PhotoPrism in here as an entry. 62. All right, and then we'll add a commit in here, and we'll let that pipeline run the backend. So we're going to essentially go with their Docker setup. So they have a Docker compose file in here. So we'll get wget this Docker compose file and then update a few things in here. And let's see. So that is still installing, almost done. All right, so that's good. So we'll enable Docker and then start Docker. We'll also get the Docker compose binary. So we're grabbing it from the GitHub Docker compose releases. We're just gonna grab the 2.5 version and we'll put it in, and use a local bin Docker compose. And then we need to make sure that that is executable. So we'll make sure that that's executable. And then here we go. We will make a directory, call it PhotoPrism. You don't have to do this, but I like to kind of just separate things out in case you decide you want other things also on your service. Then we'll do yum-y install wget. You can do the same thing with curl and get it, but we're going to go with the example that they have. So what we'll do here is copy this, paste that. And now we got the Docker compose. So we'll buy it and see what it has. There's a few things that you obviously want to change. So pretty much all the environment variables. I'm going to see if I can make this like actually one line-ish, close enough to one line-ish. Here we go. So obviously, a few things that you want to change is the password from insecure to your password. I will leave it as insecure for now, but a password that's 8 to 72 characters. Then you want to change the site here to be what you want, essentially. So I'm going to actually just do photoprism.dragon.local. Ooh, that kind of lagged. Dragon.local. And we'll leave the port to be. Then you can leave most of everything else here default. You'll also probably want to change the database password too here. So that's not insecure either, but I'm going to leave it as insecure, but you should definitely change that. And then we'll keep on going through. And then down here, this is the important part where if you already have like a photos directory and you want to include that in, you can follow this example and mount that to your like originals family or whatever photo directories. In this case, we're only going to have these two in here, so the storage and then the pictures. We won't have anything that we will put in immediately, but this is what we'll use. So we're going to leave everything as default, but if you already have a folder that you want to include in photos, you can include that. So and then everything else should be fine as default. If you did change the the password up above, you want to change it down here to match the same thing for the database. So other than that, everything else should be good. So we should be able to save that. And then we can actually do a docker compose up and detach. So the other thing that I'll do here is actually set up HTTPS. So we're going to just do an Nginx proxy, but we need to create our cert here. So let's log in to our CA server. Make directory PhotoPrism, and then we'll do step ca certificate photoprism.dragon.local, photoprism.dragon.local.cert, and photoprism.dragon.local.key. And then I'll need the password for here, which is actually in my vault warden. So let's log in here to my vault warden, log in one more time, and copy that password, paste that, and then we got both of my keys here. So from here, we'll copy these over to our server. All right, so we won't need this one anymore. Then what we'll do here is install Nginx, which we'll use as essentially our proxy. Everything flies by quickly. Then we'll make a few directories. So p-p etc pki nginx private. So then we will copy, or actually we'll just move it, photo root at photoprism.dragon.local.cert, and we'll move that to etc pki nginx, and then we'll move photoprism.dragon.key etc pki nginx private. And then now that we've installed Nginx, we can update the Nginx configuration. So we'll uncomment the SSL configuration here. Oh, too many. Okay, and then update the keys, and then update the location for where it would proxy pass through. So in this case, we got photoprism.dragon.local.cert in that directory, and photoprism.dragon.local.key in this directory. And then what we'll need to do is actually set a few things up. So we'll need to set the header. And if you don't do this, it won't actually work correctly for some of the stuff on the web page. So I originally set it up without it, and then told me I need to set it up with this. So essentially, there is a section that it will tell you this is exactly what you need to add, which is great. So I'm just going to add it here, forwarder 4, and then proxy set header host, good, and then the proxy pass is what we would usually just add, proxy pass. And we're just going to do localhost at 2342. And then there's a few other things that we need to do. So proxy buffering off. Proxy HTTP version 1.1. Proxy set header upgrade. HTTP upgrade. And the last one is proxy set header connection upgrade. And that should essentially be it. So now we can do a systemctl restart Nginx here. And then we should be able to navigate here, HTTPS photoprism.dragon.local. And then this was the username that was in the config. So if you forgot what it was in the Docker file, and it was at the very top of the environment variable. So it's your admin user and your admin password, the admin password that you should have changed. So we got admin and insecure. So there you go. That's essentially how you get PhotoPrism configured with a proxy pass for HTTPS. And then you can essentially start doing the things you have. I don't have any photos in here right now, but you can create like your albums, things like that, create your October album, things like that, as well as upload files here. So you can upload if I had 5 pictures. I don't think I have pictures in here. I got some PDFs, but they don't matter from different example. But you can essentially use this, upload your files, or if you already had files, you can mount them and it would show up because you mounted them into your Docker. But there's a few kind of cool things, and I'll have to maybe make another video in regards to kind of the pictures and how it can use AI to essentially recognize like faces and things like that, because I'm kind of curious how that all works. But that's how you get started with creating a server to start uploading your photos into it. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.